You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Welcome to the show. Newcomers, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy the show, and I hope to see you again every Monday going forward. This podcast, we talk about anime, we talk about games, we talk about nerd culture, man. We talk about Marvel. We talk about all kind of shit like that, movies, etc., etc. That's what we do here, man. If you like those type of things, then I think you've come to the right place. Let's get started, guys. I have a lot to talk about today. I'm going to be brushing up on some news. There's been a lot of it, actually. We're going to be talking about lots and lots of Nintendo Switch talk. And we're going to definitely be talking about some Marvel stuff, man. Plenty of Marvel stuff to talk about. And I'm going to brush up on, some light subjects, man, concerning Sony, Gamestop, things like that. So without further ado, shall we begin? Let me first off say that, we know Sony as a company, didn't do E3 this past E3. And, they're doing it their own way and they want to do things differently. So that's cool. I mean, whatever. But, good thing is if you're a Sony fan, then they will definitely be back for Gamescom. This upcoming Gamescom 2019, which is coming up right around the corner. They will be there, and it's only got my brain starting to move around and figure out, what's going to happen. What are they going to show? You guys know Sony is a big deal, and they have a lot of things going on in the works right now, things coming up, so many games, so many titles, man, that I still can't wait to get my hands on. I still don't have actual release dates for. Grand Blue Fantasy is one of them. There's just so many games, but hopefully we get a lot of this taken care of. Hopefully the bio mutant thing fiasco is taken care of and handled, at this Gamescom, because last time we saw these guys, technically, anything new from them was 2018 Gamescom. So a whole calendar year's passed, which we were supposed to be getting the game anyway, around the summer. Hopefully we get a release date on that game. We get some information, something to let us fans, waiting to play this game, put our minds at ease at least. Let us, calm down and because I really want to play this game and it's just making me more and more upset, man, the longer and longer time goes by, because it only gets worse from there. Anytime a company comes out or they announce a game or announce a timeline for a game and then you hear nothing from them, that means they're scrambling. That means they're shook. That means they don't know where to turn. That means somebody have, probably ended up smoking too many scrolls, and they've probably, filled their cup a little too high with sake. So I hope that they put the sake down. I hope that they, stomped out all the scrolls, and I hope that we can get to business and we can get some kind of information on this game moving forward at Gamescom, because after Gamescom 2019, there's no other excuses. I don't want to hear shit from Experiment 101. I don't want to hear shit from this company. You better show me something. You better show us something, because all you got to do is go to Twitter and look at the feeds concerning this game, concerning this company. Experiment 101 is the name of the company that's doing this game. And if you look, you're just going to see a whole bunch of disgruntled fans wondering what the fuck is going on, because that's the worst thing you can fucking do as a company, is tell somebody that you have a game coming out around a certain time, and then when the time comes, you do not say anything. You go completely dark. Okay, you go Wesley Snipes on us. You know what I mean? You go Nipsey Russell on us. You just completely dark, and we can't find you. And then you have us asking questions directed exactly towards you on Twitter, and you have nothing to say. That's a bad sign. That's not good. Okay, for a lot of you guys out there, for you developers who are listening who don't understand what 2 + 2 means? It equals 4. But for those who don't understand that, that's what that means. So I just hope that you guys take heed and do a better job. Like I said, I hope that your breath doesn't smell like sake as I'm saying this right now into this microphone. And I hope that your house or wherever you're at, your hotel or wherever, doesn't smell like endo right now. But I digress. I'll leave it alone and I'll move on to the next subject. Anyway, guys, hopefully we'll hear something from these guys at Gamescom. We'll see. Moving forward from that, guys, there is going to be a TurboGrafx 16 Mini. Yes, it's been out there for a while. I thought I'd speak on it quickly because, I was a fan of the TurboGrafx 16, man. So many memories. My brother, my younger brother, Ty, he had to have the best. He had to have the newest, game system and things like that when it came out. And this is one of those things. He begged my dad for this shit, man. I remember he begged him for like a fucking month straight for the system. And it was a beautiful piece of hardware, in its day. You know what I mean? It was a big, bulky, handheld, Game Boy. It looked like a fucking Game Boy that, it was basically overhauled, in some alien spaceship. You know what I mean? It was a lot thicker. It was jet black. It just looked very futuristic. And, it played 16-bit cards. So it's basically like, it was like a Super Nintendo in the palm of your fucking hand. You know what I mean? Or a Sega in your hand. And it was very expensive at the time, man. I remember, I think when it first came out, it was like $350, $400. It was high, man. I will definitely say that if I remember correctly. But man, I remember playing, my favorite game on that system that I can remember as a kid was Bonk's Adventure. I don't know if you guys who listen to this even know who that character is, but Bonks was a prehistoric character with this big ass head, man, and that was his weapon. He used his head for everything. He used his head to fuck up foes, and it was just a action platformer type of game. And I always loved that character, man. And you know what? I haven't thought of it in some time, but when that TurboGrafx 16 name came up, it's got me wondering, like, could I find that game? Is there a system right now that has released, Bonk's Adventure and I just don't know about it? It could be. I mean, I just hadn't been checking for it because it hadn't crossed my mind in so fucking long that, maybe I should start doing a little digging and I could find that game. That's a classic game. And there were more than one. I remember they had it at the arcades and some more shit. So I always loved that game. If I could definitely get my hands on that platform game, I would definitely want to add that to the collection. But that's what I think of when I think of TurboGrafx 16. There were some other games as well out there, I remember playing, but that was the one that was most memorable to me. And Slaughterhouse was another one. Slaughterhouse. I can't remember which one. I'm kind of hazy right now, but those games, especially Bonk's Adventure, was the ones I remember. But I'm wondering what games are actually going to come on the system. I've seen a couple videos. I didn't get a chance to find out all the games. Supposedly there's like 50 games, but like half of them are from Japan and half of them are from America or some shit like that. I'm not sure. I'm going to do some more digging. But the main thing, the meat and potatoes of this announcement is basically, there's going to be a TurboGrafx 16 Mini coming. I need to check and see if that game is going to be on there because, I would like to know. It's definitely going to be slated for $100. So, get your pocketbooks ready if you do want that. If there's enough titles on there that, that may persuade you to get that, then hey, man, I say go ahead and make that happen. I mean, it's a trend right now. Everybody's coming out with the Mini. Everybody's trying to make some money on the back end or whatever. If the titles are good enough, man, it could be possible. I'm going to dig a little deeper because, that thing was expensive back in the day. And we didn't have a lot of games for it because it was so expensive, but we'll find out. Anyway, moving on. So Mortal Kombat news, just a little bit, just a little taste. There's going to be a Mortal Kombat movie, a new Mortal Kombat movie. Yes, it's going to be rated R. Thank God. Okay. And they will have actual fatalities in this movie, which it wouldn't be a Mortal Kombat movie, in my opinion, if that wasn't the case. Who knows where this is going to go? Who knows where they're going to take this? But the very first Mortal Kombat movie was actually fucking good. Everything else after that was just kind of hot garbage. But hopefully they take those lessons and they, learn from them. And we get a good Mortal Kombat movie, man. I'd definitely like to see a new Mortal Kombat movie in 2020, 2021, because that's probably when we're going to see it and see where they take it. You know what I mean? a fresh take on it. We'll find out. I'm very anxious to find out how that's gonna, how that's gonna look. But I'm down for it. Just getting you guys' minds ready for that. If you are a Mortal Kombat fan, if you don't know, now you know. So get ready for that, guys. Also, this is something crazy. Anybody remember the game DC Universe Online? I do. I used to play it actually, a couple years ago. It's coming to the Nintendo Switch. It is coming to the Nintendo Switch. How they're going to put this on the Nintendo Switch, I'm not necessarily sure. That's going to be interesting to see how that happens. We all know, well, I don't say we all know, but a lot of us are heavy into games and are gamers. You probably know that the Nintendo Switch is not, as strong as the other systems. And sometimes getting certain games to work on it could be, a tedious task. And, hopefully this is not one of those cases, but we'll see, I guess. We'll find out. And I'm anxious to see what it's going to look like. It's going to be free. If you guys don't know that, it's a free online MMO type of game where you create your own superhero. You give him or her abilities, and you run around cities doing fucking different things, man. And you play with other people around and out and about and doing your fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is another thing that kind of hinders it for me when we're talking about the Nintendo Switch. Let's say they did get this game out and they did get it running like it's supposed to be. My problem is always going to be with the Nintendo Switch, their online service right now. And it's until they can get that situated in the right way. And what I mean by that is until we can actually get, voice chat natively, I just don't see a reason. Well, there's a couple reasons, but I don't see a reason to fully invest into, their online subscription. I just don't, man. I was forced into their online subscription recently, and I'll get into that, in a minute. And I don't think it's going to last very long because I'm going to do what I need to do, and then I'm probably going to get the fuck out. But we'll see. I have a couple questions for a couple other titles coming, and wondering if they're going to have, native voice chat in their game on their own server, and that might change it. Well, really, it wouldn't matter then, because if they had their own, then you wouldn't have to worry about paying for an online subscription anyway. There's only a couple games that I can think of right now that have their own dedicated servers, which you don't even have to have the online subscription. And those two games are Fortnite is one and Warframe is the other one. Sorry about that. Quick brain fart. But those two games are the only ones that I know for a fact. There could be one or two more out there flying around. But right now, those are the only two that I know you can actually download and play and don't have an online subscription and enjoy it and talk to other people. Like, have people, playing and being able to talk to them. That's why I don't understand why Nintendo is not making this, native to the whole system with this fucking dumbass app that everybody has to fucking download and you have to hook up to your fucking game system. No, it's just retarded, man. It's just so stupid. These fucking friend codes are dumb. And that's why I don't understand. Nintendo is like, I love them, but it's like that fine ass bitch that you get, whose phone number you get, but she's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you can fuck her or you can take her out, but she's a bitch at the same time. So it's like, it's just, you have to put up with a lot of boo-boo, to get that pleasure. So it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back with Nintendo right now. If they had that online thing, pegged out where you actually have new friends and have parties and all this shit, man, Nintendo would be like on a whole new fucking another plateau. I'm telling you, man, that's what they need. They could kill the game with this. This is really holding them back. A lot more than people may think. There are a shitload of Nintendo fans still, and that's not going to change. I mean, Nintendo is Nintendo. But, me personally, like as a consumer, I'm just looking for, I'm looking for single player, experiences, solo junctions right now. I'm not looking for anything that has to do with, playing with somebody if I can't speak to them, because you can only do so much in that kind of avenue. If you're playing a certain game, you need somebody to, hey man, cover me here, do this. They're not going to fucking be able to do that. And you're not going to have time to sit out there and fucking type the shit. You know what I mean? For them to understand what's going on here. It's just not that type of party. And they need to get that situation rectified very quickly. And, the longer and more time passes, man, I'm starting to realize that may never happen. And the Nintendo Switch for me is just going to be, a system that I play for their exclusive games. And, pretty much that's it. You know what I mean? Not jumping online with anybody or whatever. And it kind of breaks my heart because Daemon X Machina is coming out very, very soon. And it's coming out without online support right now, mind you. I'm just throwing that out there. The game is going to have online support. It's something that they're going to release after the game is released. And I hope that the reason why they're doing this is because they're going to be working on, their own dedicated server, maybe. Because this is the type of game that you probably want to have, somebody in your ear to talk to them if you're going to be taking down other mechs. If you're a mech and it's going to be very strategic, man. And I don't think you're going to be able to do what you need to do by just having somebody, another NPC out here with you, just flying around and not being able to actually really coordinate, the situation. Even though that game is definitely fucking, boss. That game looks awesome. The revisions already from the demo that they put out has already done leaps and bounds, beyond my expectations. So I'm excited for the game. I love mechs. The demo looks awesome. It's going to be a shitload of customization involved in this game, but I hope part of that customization is going to be them adding their own fucking server. I really fucking do, and I really hope so. Even if they don't, I'll still buy the game because me personally, I can play it solo, and you really can play it solo if you want to. That's why I'm buying it too. I love the art style of the game. But it's definitely something if they do not have, a dedicated server to, I probably won't be done jumping online. I mean, you know what I mean? That's just this is how it is, man. But how the fuck did I get all the way over to this subject and I was talking about another subject? I don't fucking know. Last thing I remember, guys, I was talking about DC Universe Online and I ended up here. But it's coming to the Switch. I don't have an actual date yet, but it's in the works. So be looking out for that, guys, if you're into that. And if you have a Switch and you want to, do something like that, it might be cool. It could be cool. They might have their own dedicated server. Who knows? I don't know all the schematics on what they're doing here. They could merge it with, Xbox players and stuff because they've been doing a lot of that lately. So maybe they do have their own dedicated servers where you can actually talk to them. They're already doing it with Fortnite. So this is something that I think would be pretty cool if they get it working right on the Switch. And if you've never played this game before, or if you want it on the fucking go, well, then here you go. All right, guys. Now let's get into the little GameStop. Yeah, little GameStop. GameStop is going to be doing some revisions. Yes. And there's been plenty of people out here online talking about how, GameStop is going to go out of business here and there. And they still might. It's still a possibility. I mean, but it's not going to happen, in my opinion, anytime soon within the next 3, 4, 5 years. If they are going out of business, it's probably going to be more on the other side of that. You're looking at maybe 9, 10, 11 years from now, depending on where, honestly, where they go next. And right now, it seems like they're trying to stop the bleeding and save the company. Because as you know, this next generation of consoles coming up, they're going to be disc-based. So it's going to give stores like GameStop an incentive to sell that type of shit to us still. So we can still go buy, discs. We can still get killer sales and all that. I hear a lot of people bitching about GameStop, talking bad on GameStop and stuff like that, because of their, their model as far as buying games and reselling them. In other words, if you buy a game brand new in the box tomorrow and you take it back the following day, they're only going to give you like $25 for it, but then they'll turn around and sell it for $5 cheaper than the original brand new price. So you buy it for $64 and some change after tax. You take it back the next day and say, I want to trade it in. They'll turn around and give you $25 for it. And then they'll sell that exact same game you gave them back to the next guy who walks in the door. They'll sell it used for $54.99. That's really what people don't like about them. That's really what most people who hate GameStop, all they really can say is that. But if you look at it through a different lens, then you also understand that you can use GameStop the way you want to use GameStop in a sense. Put it like this. You got to learn how to work the system. If I bought a game that I didn't fucking like and I bought it brand new and I was like, I want to take this shit back. I'm not going to take it to fucking GameStop. I'm going to turn around and put that shit on eBay. And if I paid $64 after taxes, then I'm going to sell it on eBay for like $50. All right. So in other words, it's used. Okay. GameStop is selling the same used game for $54. I'm just going to drop the price $5 and sell it like that. I've done that shit before in the past on eBay and won and got it like that. I'll never ever sell another product back to fucking GameStop that way, because you'll get fucked in the end anyway. But that they have to sell it like that. They have to run the business like that because that's how they make money. I mean, most businesses are designed to make money. That's the whole goal, right? But here's why I love GameStop and why I would be fucked up if GameStop was gone is because, you know, where else would you be able to go to get those killer deals if you're into the physical thing? Even if you're into the digital shit. I mean, there's been plenty of times, even now, where I could say, you know what? I could go to GameStop right now and say, fuck, I want this game. Oh, it's only $15 at GameStop. But go to PlayStation, you know, go to the PlayStation store for that same game. And guess what? That same digital fucking game is $45. Okay, a digital piece. When you can go get the physical version of that for, you know, $15. That's why I would go to GameStop. They have a lot of good deals, a lot of great deals, and you can go in there and you can catch those like that, especially if you love physical games. You know what I mean? And it's just a store that is for gamers, man. I just feel like, you know, it's something for us. I'm a full-fledged, full-blooded, you know, gamer. I call myself that. I mean, shit, this podcast is based off of video games. So, you know, and nerd culture. And that's what GameStop is doing. They sell a lot of shit other than games right now. They sell figures. They sell, you know, paraphernalia of, you know, anime and, you know, all those things, nerd culture, superheroes, Marvel Legend figures, shit like that, shit that I fuck with personally. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's one place I know I can go and come out of there with something, you know, walk out of there with something in that shape, form, or fashion. And that's what I would miss about GameStop. And there's a lot of people who feel the same way. I mean, nothing's perfect, but, you know, GameStop is a place for us, for the gamer, for, you know, a place where we can just go alone. I mean, you go to Walmart, yeah, there's a section, but they're not going to have everything that fucking GameStop has. None of the games, the library, they're just not going to have it. You know what I mean? They're just going to have all the AAA shit, but everything else that you want, they're not going to have it. And then they're not going to have it for great deals sometimes too, because we live in an age now where, man, everybody wants shit now. And it's kind of cool in a sense as well, because a new game comes out, guess what, man? Yeah, I only have enough to buy one game. Fine, buy that one game, come back 3 months later, maybe even 2, and that game was dropped $20 to $30. Boom, there you have it. Or wait till fucking Black Friday, go in there with $50 and clean fucking shop. Walk in there like you fucking robbed the place, man. That's how you walk out of there. I mean, you catch those deals, the summer sale they just had. I can't believe I missed that, man. They had fucking Kingdom Hearts 3. They had fucking The Division 2. And they had, I think, what other game did they fucking have? And they had another one, I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey for $20, okay, a piece. I was pissed about the Kingdom Hearts shit. I was hurt. I didn't know that. I had just missed that sale, man. But sales like that, you can't fucking, you know, you just can't fucking lose on that. Now, if you go try to buy Kingdom Hearts digitally, guess what? That motherfucker is $59.99. You know what I mean? So that's the type of thing I'm talking about. If I can avoid buying, you know, digital over physical, I will do that every time. And, you know, you got to kind of watch yourself too when you're doing that, because nowadays motherfuckers will put out a game and there'll be nothing on the fucking disc. So it's almost like you're buying the fucking thing, you know, a non-physical copy anyway. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to check the game, check the title. Okay, is this all on the disc or majority of this on the disc? Okay, cool. But if it's not, then why the fuck am I even buying the disc? Case in point, you know, Street Fighter, which is Capcom's dumbass. I was trying to cut fucking corners. I was just trying to bleed the block. I'm sorry, man. Capcom, they're another company. They take fucking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You know, a lot of their titles are great. I mean, some of my favorite games, you know, Street Fighter is probably my favorite fighting franchise, you know. But they burned me very badly with what they did with the last Street Fighter game. They just really did, man. And I don't think I'll ever get over that shit. But then they turn around and fucking put out, you know, the Resident Evil remakes. They fucking do shit like that. You know what I mean? Dragon's Dogma is another one of my favorite games from Capcom. I mean, they do great shit, but they also do fucked up shit as well. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, damn, what the fuck do I do? Where do I go? Who do I run to? Type of shit. But you know what I mean? But when it comes to, you just check that, you know what I mean? But for the most part, you're going to get most of those games and you're going to get most of the data, you know, on those discs. And that's cool about GameStop. But they're also going to do they're looking to remodel, as far as they're trying to get into, believe it or not, they're trying to get in esports. So they're trying to set up some shit for esports where those type of things can take place and people can go to GameStop for that type of stuff. And that might do something. That might be something headed in the right direction. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say yay or nay to this because I don't know. I don't know how they're going to implement this, man, because GameStop stores are small, number one, anyway. And how the fuck are you going to make that happen if your store is small as fuck? How are you going to get an esport thing, going on unless you rent out venue or some shit like that? But I don't think they're trying to do that because that's going to be taken away from the fucking bottom line. So I don't know where they're going with that. I mean, this is just a thought, a drop in a bucket right now. Trust me, as more news and more details come out, I will definitely be there to let you guys know because I'm for GameStop. I'm not against GameStop. I'm not one of those guys who wish GameStop would die or anything like that because I still use them a lot. I still go there for a lot of my games. And I usually shop there for, I go pick up, my bucket list games. I go there, for all the games that I missed. I'll go there, every few months and I'll go in there and I'll find something that, was a higher price before and I'll walk out happy. Usually I always walk out happy. If they have pre-orders, a lot of time they do, I can get the game a night early, that 9 o'clock and get out of there and with a smile on my face. I've done it so many times. I didn't get to do it for, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, but that's another story. And I will definitely get into that a little bit later. But yeah, man. So I'm for GameStop. And they're also going to be let me say this. They're also going to be getting into retro gaming. That's another thing that could save them. They used to do it, at one point in time, and I don't know why they got away from it. They changed it up, but they're talking about getting back into that now. And that's also cool because there's a lot of retro gamers out here. There's a lot of retro gamer collectors out here because usually if I wanted a retro game or friends of mine who are big time retro gamers, a couple of them, they always go to fucking Movie Trading Company. They have some dope shit Movie Trading Company does, and they deal in retro stuff. GameStop needs to adopt this recipe if they're going to fucking, make it, through the fire in the end. Because like I said before, which I didn't get to finish, GameStop is going to be okay right now as long as they still have discs to sell, for the most part. And the new or the next upcoming generation of consoles coming out, they're going to have discs. So you're going to be able to buy discs for them. It's not going to be digital only. Now, after that, you might be looking at the next tier of gaming where it could definitely be going more so straight digital. And that's when, GameStop is probably looking like, okay, that gives GameStop maybe 7 to 10 years, to, figure out what they're going to do. Because if they do decide to go digital on most platforms, then that's going to be an issue. I mean, they could get into the digital market too and say, hey, we're going to sell them too. Which they kind of are right now a little bit, but I don't know how that would pan. That's why I think the retro games is a good thing because it will definitely you can definitely keep yourself relevant, when people still want to, play older games and go and get older things, man, because, I still love Nintendo 64. I still love, my Sega Saturn stuff and all of that. So if they get into that type of stuff, man, it could be cool. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about none of this warehouse type of shit where it's online only shit. No, motherfucker. I want to be able to walk into a GameStop and be able to find a Sega Saturn. You know what I mean? I want to be able to find some Sega Saturn controllers at a local fucking GameStop. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Because, a lot of people, yeah, they order online, they buy online a lot because you get some good deals sometimes or whatever and so on and so forth. But at the same time, there's nothing like walking to your local store and being able to buy a lot of that shit without having to worry about paying for shipping or worried about waiting for it. It's right there for you. It's the convenience there for you. So there are a couple minuses to GameStop, but if you use them the right fucking way, you can pretty much knock out all the fucking minuses, man, and make it and keep it positive. That's how I look at it. That's how I, view GameStop in my eyes. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? I'd love to hear how you feel, what you think about that. But that's just me. It is what it is, man. Now, I want to get into this Nintendo Switch shit, man. I got into it last episode, but some new shit came up. Some new shit popped up, and Nintendo loves doing shit like this. They love to, surprise the fuck out of you. That Jason Voorhees hiding behind the bush type shit when you're walking down the street with your lunch or your girlfriend, and then boom, out comes Nintendo. That's, what they've done, within this past fucking week alone. Okay. These motherfuckers have already put out a, Nintendo Switch Lite. Okay. We talked about it last week and, I felt pretty positive about, that system moving forward. In other words, I felt that it's going to sell and it's going to do big things out here. And I think that it will. And I still do. But then they go and hit us with a curveball. They hit us with a fucking curveball because now they have fucking announced another Nintendo Switch model. Okay. With basically more battery life. Same Nintendo Switch for the base model. Same thing. Nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed is they configured the battery life. Okay. So now you're getting 3 to possible 4 more hours of battery life on this new model of Nintendo Switch. But here's the caveat to that. It's only coming out in Japan right now, and it's coming in August. So it's coming out before the Nintendo Switch Lite, which is coming out here in September, but out there in Japan, they're getting it in fucking August. And there's no release date, planned for the US right now. I mean, of course, it's coming, but we don't know yet. There's been no word or announcement yet, but I'm definitely going to find out. And when I find out, you guys are going to fucking find out. But yeah, man. But it kind of throws a little salt in the water, throws a little salt in the game. I mean, luckily it's not coming out here, because then it'd be like, well, why are they, I don't know what they're going to do in Japan. I mean, that doesn't make sense. I mean, don't you want to sell the Nintendo Switch Lite? I just don't understand it. So you mean to tell me that the new Nintendo Switch is going to have more battery life than the Nintendo Switch Lite, which you would think would be the one that they would, put that battery life in. And then people be like, oh, this battery life is more. It's made for a portable system. It just makes sense like that. But then they say, no, this one's only going to be like 30 minutes to an hour more battery life than the original Switch, which is still better than nothing, but still. And then you turn around and then you talk about the new model Nintendo Switch with more battery life than that. So it's kind of like they're pushing you into the corner. Like either way we look at it, they're going to win anyway. You're either going to give us $200 or you're going to give us fucking $3. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess they know what they're doing. I guess I don't know, man. I mean, now if you're somebody who doesn't have a Nintendo Switch yet and you want to buy one, like that's the question I'm asking you. Like, what would you do? Like, I had to ask myself, like, what would I do if I didn't have a Switch now? And I was thinking about making that purchase. I mean, well, I wouldn't buy one now. I would fucking wait, knowing that these are existing. I definitely wouldn't go and buy the model now that I currently own, that most of us currently have, because it's the only one available. But I would fucking wait. You know what I mean? I would wait till the, new model came out and, get the longer battery life version of that. And then that's the way I would go. I wouldn't go for the Lite. Because then now I have my longer battery life. I still have my Joy-Cons. I still can play it on the TV. You know what I mean? And I think that's their scheme to try to sell more, more $300 models than anything. The $200 model now to me is like something that they're going to pick up all the pieces. They're going to pick up, they're going to take care of the light work, everything that falls by the wayside, okay, just these guys are going to get the $200 ones, to save them $100 for whatever. That means you can get the system and you can get you a couple games too. You know what I mean? And if you really want to talk about it, you could get one game and you could take fucking $40, and go on the eShop and fucking clean fucking house. You could act a fucking ass. There's so many great games, coming, and they're already out, indie games and stuff, and games that are just on sale or whatnot that you can fucking enjoy. Get yourself a Nintendo Switch, any model, and then get you a fucking, 100 and, 256 megabyte card. Boom, you're in there. You don't even need 256. You can get like one, whatever. The one is half of that, I think. I can't remember how big it is, but yeah, man, and win. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's on you. They're going to win regardless, but I just think that's crazy. They're just coming out with all the stops. So I guess everybody who was thinking about, Nintendo Switch Pro, I guess you can put that at rest, because that's not happening anytime soon. I'm quite sure it's not going to. So I think this is our Nintendo Switch Pro, this new one with the battery life. That's pretty much it. That's all we're getting. There's also some shit in the air, that people are out here talking about, some kind of lawsuit. There's some kind of lawsuit going up against Nintendo for their fucking Joy-Cons. Yes, they're Joy-Cons, because apparently a lot of these Joy-Cons are out here drifting. And if you don't know what that means, it means that, say you're playing a Mario game, or say you're playing Zelda Breath of the Wild, okay, and you're running around and shit, and you stop in the town, and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna get up and go get a drink of water real quick. You come back, and Link is slowly walking in said direction, very slowly. You're like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm not touching the controller. Well, it's basically the Joy-Con, kind of sticking in one particular direction, just ever so slightly, but still sticking. And that is basically the video game term of drifting. That's basically what that means, if you didn't know. And apparently there's been some sort of lawsuit, implicating Nintendo, blaming them for this shit, and motherfuckers are not playing. They're like, apparently there's a lot of these controllers, man, because for a lawsuit to happen, I mean, come on, man, it's not going to be one dude named Troy suing Nintendo over a Joy-Con drift. You know what I mean? It's got to be something happening in the production house or something like that going on for this to be getting any kind of, publicity. Because right now it's out there. And I'm wondering what Nintendo's going to do about that. If anything, it's a good thing in a sense, because it'll put them on their game. It'll make them change what's going on with these Joy-Cons going down the line. So maybe they recall a lot of these Joy-Cons, and then, and the Joy-Cons we buy, in future, we get better Joy-Cons. I mean, because keep in mind, I don't even play my Joy-Cons enough to find out if they're going to get that drift going. I don't play in portable mode often. Believe it or not, I play in fucking dock mode a lot, when I play it. Because I'm not a traveler. I don't travel that much, and I'm a house body. I stay in the man cave, and that's where everything's hooked up. So that's how I do it. But yeah, man, I mean, I hope they get this shit rectified. I hope that's not, nothing too serious, because, I do want a Joy-Con, but I want a fucking Joy-Con with a decent directional controller. Now, directional pad. There is one out there you can actually buy very cheap, like $15 right now, but it doesn't have all the bells and whistles as a standard Joy-Con. It doesn't have the rumble. It doesn't have, certain things, that come with it. It basically, it's only made to use that fucking, the directional pad. That's it. So when you're playing like platformers and shit like that, that's a perfect, controller to have, and you're going to be playing in portable mode. Also, it doesn't work well with, accessories. So if you're trying to hook up, I have this thing where if I'm playing it in portable mode, it's kind of uncomfortable a little bit after a while with your hands, playing it that way. So you want to kind of put some kind of handles on it, kind of like a, PlayStation controller or Xbox, on the left and right side of it. And it's one of these pieces that I bought, and it helps a lot with the comfortability of the game if you have to play it in portable mode. So, those won't work with that. So, I mean, I would like a official Nintendo licensed, made from Nintendo for Nintendo, one with a fucking joypad on there where you can just slide it on there, boom, and you're good. You know what I mean? I would definitely love that. $70 though, I mean, that's the going price right now for some Joy-Cons. Like, fuck that. Now, if you just made one of those and sold that one side, I mean, sell it to us for like $20-$30, cool. You just need that side, you just need that fucking Joy-Con, or you just need that fucking, that directional pad. You're good. You're Gucci. I don't know, man. We'll find out though, but I'm pretty sure Nintendo's working on something. I'm sure they have something up their sleeve. They're just waiting. You know what I mean? They got so many accessories already, but this is one that we sorely fucking need, especially a lot of us platform gamers out here. And, I just picked up Mario Maker 2, so yeah, I'm going to need that. And I'm definitely going to be talking about that stuff in a minute. But man, Nintendo, they, I don't know, man. Like I said before earlier, they're a great company. I love them to fucking death. But there are some things that, need to be worked out. And, I have a Nintendo Switch, so I'm not going to worry about it as far as the battery life and all that's concerned. I'm not really tripping on that either. Usually games that I play on there, I'm not going to, like I said, I don't travel a lot. If I do travel a lot, hey, that's what the charge is for. And you keep it plugged in and you keep it moving, man. You know what I mean? Bottom line, I mean, it's a destination point. I'm not going to be sitting somewhere in the middle of nowhere just for too long. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. But if you guys don't have a Switch, hey man, you have a lot of choices coming out. I'd say right now, don't buy a Switch. If you wanted to buy one, like right now, it's the wrong time to buy one. It would be the wrong time to buy one. You have to ask yourself, what kind of gamer are you? Are you portable first? Because a lot of people do play it in portable mode. They love to play it in portable mode, and then some are not, So it just depends on the person, man. But if I was, I would personally, I go on and get I wait for the new model to drop and then I'd get that one because then all your bases are covered. Yeah, you pay an extra 100, but in the future, you don't have to worry about, anything. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about your Joy-Cons drifting because if those fuckers are drifting on the portable, on the Nintendo Switch Lite, I mean, you can't fix that. You can't remove that shit. So, I mean, there lies the issue. There lies the situation. So what do you do if you got something that's drifting in? You know what I mean? The system's not even out yet. So if that were to happen, I mean, I don't know what would be available out front where you could go and replace that, Joy-Con or whatever, right away, because I don't know if the kits and all that are going to be available, when it's just coming out. I mean, it usually takes a good solid, 6 months, maybe a year before you can start finding that stuff on eBay and Amazon and stuff like that. So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who actually, will be, YouTubers too, will take that motherfucker apart, will examine everything. And that's where, the beginning can start and people start, modifying their shit or whatever. But you don't want to do that with, if it's still in the warranty. But who wants to fucking wait for weeks while you send that shit off for Nintendo to fucking repair that shit either? I mean, it's a lose-lose situation any way you look at it. But yeah, if I'm going to choose one, it's definitely going to be the regular $300 model, but it's going to be the one with the updated battery life on it. You know what I mean? So your bases are all covered. That's just what I would do, but it's just me. All right, guys. Let's jump into the Marvel universe. Let's just talk about Marvel, period. Been so much going on in the Marvel world, and Comic-Con was just, not too long ago, and, so many good things happening. There's going to be a fucking Blade movie. Man, I can't believe I'm saying this, a new Blade movie coming out. And when Marvel, it's probably not going to be for a couple years, but the most important part is it's happening. It's going to happen. A new Blade movie. Now, if you guys don't know about Blade, Blade is synonymous for, really putting Marvel on the fucking map. You want to talk about a dope Marvel franchise? Blade is it. Wesley Snipes played as Blade. One of the dopest movies out there. One of the dopest characters, man, in the Marvel universe, that a lot of people don't fucking know about. He's a vampire. He's a hybrid vampire at that. He can he's not, your typical vampire where when the sun comes up, when the lights come on, you got to fucking go to sleep. He's not one of those vampires. He's what they call a daywalker, which is a vampire who can fucking walk into the sunlight. Sunlight will not kill him. It doesn't have that effect on him. So, I mean, he's an awesome character, man. And if you don't know about Blade or you haven't seen the movies, you definitely need to go check those out. I'm so serious. But, Wesley Snipes is a little too old now for all the Blade fans out there. He's like 55, 56 years old now. So, I mean, they could have probably still made it happen. I mean, shit. Who the fuck is 70 years old out here right now in the MCU? Samuel L. Jackson is 70 years old, man. And he's playing Nick Fury, man. Strong. You know what I'm saying? Even though he doesn't look anything like 70, but he's 70 years old, man, out there running around in those Marvel streets. And, Wesley could do it at 55, I'm sure, and how they made Kurt Russell look in Guardian of the Galaxy, man. I mean, he looked like he was a fucking, 25 again. I mean, computer, you can do so much with computers now. But maybe they just felt like they didn't want to go that route and, they just want to go somebody new, and Mahershala Ali is the guy for the job. He is a definite, in my eyes, he's a great pick. I mean, he's a great actor. He's won, numerous awards for his skills on behind the screen. And, he's just a talented guy, man. I think they're going to do big things with Blade, the franchise, with this guy. I mean, he's a fabulous actor, and, I can't wait to see what, they do with this series, man. Maybe give Wesley Snipes a cameo in this movie or something like that, man. That'd be dope. That pay homage to, to the first Blade movies. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's pretty much the story that broke the mold. That's pretty much the one that everybody was just like, that lost their shit over. And people were, letting everybody know that, look, man, they were prophesizing this shit. A lot of YouTubers were, a lot of people were, prophesizing it, because usually you can tell when you start looking at, what's going on in, pop culture, the media and stuff like that, as far as games and comic books and stuff. And if, as of lately, there's been a lot of fucking, a lot of Blade, being inserted into the Marvel universe a little bit. Was a one shot comic with him and Wolverine not too long ago. He's also going to be a character, in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, you know what I mean? And which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So, the writing was kind of on the wall already, and there were a lot of people, a lot of comic fans who were calling this shit. And, now it's come to fruition, man. We're going to get that. It's going to happen. And I'm so happy for that. I just hope that they live up to, what Blade is right now, because those are fucking big shoes to fill. Anytime, if you haven't seen a Blade movie, then you're doing yourself a great disservice. And everybody who has seen Blade, you know what I'm talking about. That's going to be some fucking big shoes to fill, man. But I think they can do it. I think with, where we are now technology wise, just, years later, I mean, there's probably going to be some dope shit that they're going to be able to do, and even introduce new characters into the Marvel universe through this movie, because they're good at doing that. They're good at putting out a movie about one character and then introducing other characters for future references later, because now with the power of the media, social media, man, they can sit back and just watch Twitter and, watch YouTube and just fucking take notes and be like, oh, they really like this guy, or they really like this girl. And boom, let's do a movie on her. Let's do a fucking sideshow on Disney on him. I mean, and there you go. There you fucking have it, because we already got a shitload of, shows coming to Disney. Like, they are fully fucking loaded right now on shows, man. Animated and fucking just TV shows, okay? Not even talking about movies. But if you want to talk about movies, let's talk about that new Thor movie. There's a new fucking Thor movie coming out, and it's going to be very interesting, man. There's so much shit going on right now, man. I mean, there's so much going on in the world of Marvel, man. They're not playing around. They're not even fucking around. They're it's not a game out here in these Marvel streets. I'm just saying. I mean, God damn it, man. I mean, they just blew the fuck up. And how ironic is it that, Blade was, believe it or not, the first movie to really launch this into existence. You know what I mean? To prove that, they could basically take a movie from a character from a comic book and make this shit real, make it, high production, make it very interesting and good writing and choreography, all that shit. It had everything. And, man, now look at us years later with all these movies done and so many more on the way. It's crazy. They did confirm a Black Panther 2. Okay. I think we all knew that was coming, but they confirmed it. And that's the most important thing. Let them confirm this shit. They confirmed Black Panther 2. They confirmed Captain Marvel 2. I know a lot of people are kind of feeling some way about that. There's a lot of Captain Marvel fans, but there aren't a lot of fans of the female playing that character. There's a lot of people who, who basically, who she's getting on a lot of people's nerves, but I'll leave that for another, I don't talk politics on my show. Unless it's politics of gaming and it's, shit like that. But, yeah, it's coming though. I'm just letting you guys know it's coming. The New Mutants, if you guys aren't familiar with them, they have a movie coming out. That's fucking going to be dope. Doctor Strange is a new movie that's coming out, man. It's going to basically be a different take. They're going to put a horror hat on top. So they're going to take it to the horror, realm. And I'm anxious to see what this is going to be about. Cause I could see Doctor Strange, doing some horror type shit. You know what I mean? Because he fucks around with a lot of this shit that, is just kind of out of this world and kind of, mind fuckery and all this shit, man. So I definitely want to, I'm interested in that one for sure. Speaking of Doctor Strange, man, oh my God, the tales that I could tell you about, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 that me and my 6-year-old had, trying to beat this motherfucker, man. He got his mind possessed. There was a portion of the game where he got his mind possessed and we had to fight him, and whoo, man, that's another story. But anyway, that ought to be sweet. Anyway, Fantastic Four. Yes, they're going to do a Fantastic Four movie. I hope the third time is a fucking charm for this one, man. And I gotta believe that it will be. I just have to. You know what I mean? Because the other two fumbles were just crazy. And it's ironic how, Michael B. Jordan was in, one of those movies, and then he became a character that everybody fucking loved, as a villain in Black Panther. It's a trip, man, how things happen. But I hope they do it right this time, man. I really, really do. I want to see Fantastic Four shine out here in these Marvel streets. And I don't think they're going to drop the ball on this one, man. I think they're going to cover all their bases because this is the Marvel Universe, man. And they pretty much hit everything that they do. So But that's interesting. It's definitely going to be something to see and wait for. Like I said, all of this stuff is way out, anyway, but it's just something to put on our minds and get us ready for what's coming, man. So we don't have anything to worry about as far as content, on its way, to the Marvel Universe. I hope they do like another Punisher movie or some shit like another Punisher. I would love to see that. I definitely will. I'm a big Punisher fan as well. You guys know I'm a big Cap fan. A lot of you guys know that who've been down since day one on the podcast, and we shall see, man. I'm also a big Cyclops fan, so we will see. Anyway, guys, last but not fucking least, okay. I did pick up a couple games. The video game gods have blessed me. They were very, very good to me this past weekend. They allowed me to purchase a new controller, which I needed, with a decent fucking joypad on it. Yes. A Power A controller to be specific. And then I also, man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you guys knew I was going to get Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which I have and which I'm playing the shit out of now. But I was also able to get Mario Maker 2, which I didn't get a chance to play. I played for like a few minutes, maybe 20 minutes, because my son and I were playing, we were getting our asses handled on Marvel Ultimate Alliance and one boss. And he decided he basically broke his spirit and he wanted to try Mario Maker. So we played around with that. I made like half of a level because I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And that was about it. But trust me, I'll be talking about Mario Maker, in the next couple weeks to come. I'm definitely going to get into that game. I got it for a reason, because I can let my creative juices start to flow. And the little bit of time I did spend with it, man, it was amazing. I really enjoyed myself, and I could see so many possibilities, from what I was doing. So anxious to get back into that. But yeah, man, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, man, it's real. It's here. I've played it. I actually beat it early this morning. I think like 9 o'clock in the morning, man. I was up like a motherfucker playing this shit. Yeah, it's a great game, man. And if I had to give it a score from a 1 to 10, I would give it an 8 out of 10. And the reason why I give it 8 out of 10 is, it could have got a 9, or 8.5 at least, if it wasn't for the fucking camera. Okay, the camera can definitely be a pain in your ass when you're playing with two players, for sure. One player is not that bad, but because you have more control, you can actually use the other, the right analog for your camera. But when you got two players on there, there's no using that. And if you stray too far away from your partner playing the game, you can't move anywhere. You can't go anywhere. There's been a couple times where my ass was trying to reach somebody and I couldn't quite get to him because my son was way off on the other side of the screen doing some who knows what. And I was like, yo, man, come with me to the side so I can get this guy or whatever. And it was just one of those type of things. So, we still did, good enough. It gets the job done. I'll say that. But it could definitely use some kind of work. They need to figure something out with that if you're playing multiplayer and stuff. I don't know how it works online with that. Speaking of online, real quick, I did purchase a 7-day trial, and I might have to get 1 month because of Mario Maker, because I couldn't download or try anybody's courses out without it. And they knew that. Nintendo ain't stupid. They fucking know what they're doing. And that's what they do. They paint you in a fucking corner with games like that. Because that's the only game that I would use right now to play, because I have to, because I want to upload my stages. And then at the same time, I want to play other people's stages and see what they're working with. That's like, pisses me off, man. It really does. So I'm going to just make some stages, upload some stuff, and I might get out of there, depending on what's going on, because that's how sturdy I am with Nintendo when it comes to their online service, man. I'm very stubborn when it comes to that. They got to give me something. I don't want any fucking Nintendo games, man. Okay? I don't want any Nintendo games. Stop it with that. Okay? Give me back the Virtual Console or do something like that. You've done it with some games. Turok, you've released. There's some of the games that you can do and release. Let's make that happen. But yeah, anyway, back to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Man, we had a ball playing it though. Like I said, there's a couple spots that we couldn't get past because my son, he's 6, so he's just gonna, run into the battle. He's not gonna think twice about his safety, and he's just running and gunning. He's not gonna, dodge and roll when he knows he should or when he needs to. He's not thinking about that. He's just thinking about, ooh, I get to play with Venom and run around and just do cool things. You know what I mean? So I had to wait till we were finished playing, and then wait for him to go to sleep, and then come back and readdress some of these bosses and stuff. Which, let me say, I mean, this game, you want a challenge, this game is definitely going to give you that. It's not short in challenges. Like case in point, I beat the game. Okay, I did the story mode. I started playing the game on hard, or mighty is what they call it. There's mighty and then there's friendly. So I started on mighty by myself, and then when my son started playing, I had to switch to fucking friendly, so that he wouldn't just be obliterated out there and stuff like that. And then even on fucking friendly, man, some of these fights, some of these, man, it's ridiculous. You really got to spec into your characters in this game. I mean, I will say that you have to spec into them, and the level system, I think, caps at, like, I want to say, man, I don't even know what the level cap is, to be honest with you. I want to say it's like 60, but I don't know. I'd be lying if I told you that, because I don't know. I mean, right now my highest character is like Black Panther, and he's like 40, 41 or some shit like that. So I beat the game, with about, he was 41. A couple of my other characters were like, in their late 30s. And then there was a couple characters that I really liked that I didn't think I was going to like playing with, which, Luke Cage is one of them. I really enjoy playing with Luke Cage. Black Panther is fucking awesome as hell. Wolverine is dope as hell. Captain America is my dude. He's one of my favorite characters, so I had to learn how to use him. But once I learned how to use some of his stuff and how to use him, then I figured, oh yeah, he can definitely be awesome doing some stuff. Who else, man? I mean, there's a couple other characters that I really enjoy playing with too. Spider-Gwen was another one, and then there's some other characters that I hadn't had a chance to even touch on yet, really. Because it's just a lot of characters, and it takes time to build these characters up, to level them all up. So, like I said, I finished the game, but I'm not even like 50% done with the game technically, because I haven't unlocked all the characters yet. I still have like 4 characters to unlock. And I have to go through all these, they give you all these trials, which I think is awesome, which gives so much replay value to the game. When I beat the game, I did unlock another mode, like a super hard mode or some shit like that. And then on the more news for this game, which is, I was a little bit upset that, Cyclops, which is one of my favorite characters, is not playable in the game. He's in the game in the story mode. So is Colossus, but you can't play with them. But, they did announce that those 2 characters right there are coming for free. We don't even have to pay for them, but they'll be here August 30th. So we have to wait like damn near 40 days though to get them. But it's ironic how they are coming out on the same fucking day as Astral Chain is coming out. So I was like, damn. But guess what? I guess once I get done with Astral Chain, I can come back around to Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and then, Cyclops will be there. And I can jump back into it, you know what I mean? And start working on him and all these other things. Cause when Astral Chain comes out, man, it's a wrap for anything else going on. Sony, Nintendo, whatever. It's a wrap until I get into Astral Chain. And then I want to talk a little bit about Astral Chain, real quick. I just found out a little side tangent, little news. The customization in that game is way deeper than I imagined it was going to be. Now, of course, I knew you could create your own character. In other words, their likenesses. I knew you could create, pick a guy or a girl. I know you could change their hairstyles and their skin tone and their eyes and stuff like that. But I didn't know that you could actually get more detailed into what they actually wear. The gear that they use and all that stuff, the cosmetics of that. And that just made me that much more happy, man. That's just another fucking layer of customization that's added to an already highly anticipated game from Platinum Games, which I cannot fucking wait. And pretty much anybody I know who has a Nintendo Switch knows about this game. I mean, this is going to be that game, man, the defining game, man. It's going to be so good, man. I just know it. It's just going to be so awesome. I can't wait to play this game. But anyway, back to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Yes, we do get those characters later on August 30th. Which is crazy. No, I'm sorry, September 30th. September 30th. And the first DLC has been announced. I mean, it's coming, I want to say September is when it's coming out. And the DLC is actually, when they release these characters, we also get, more story, aspects to it, which is also awesome because, like I said, that adds more shit to do. And then with more stories, guess what comes with that? then comes more fucking more trials. You know what I mean? So more rift trials. And the rift trials are so awesome because, like I said, I beat the game already, but I haven't done but maybe 2 or 3 rift trials. So you could go in there to level up your characters. Say you want to, there's one that's you go in there, you have to kill 200 cronies, 200 soldiers, whatever. So you go in there, you fucking do that. And it's fun. It's just fun to go in there and take your team in there who you pick and just mop. Just act a fool. Go in there and do a mop job, or go in there and coordinate with the characters and, figure out how, learn about other characters and stuff like that. It's just really fun. If you like beat 'em ups, if you love Marvel, then you're going to love this game, man. Especially if you played the other ones before this. I mean, that's why I bought it and I was not disappointed. There was a couple things, the camera, like I said, and then the only other thing that I have to, bitch about really, is the costumes, the costumes, which, we only get one variation of color swap for the characters. And as far as the new costumes are concerned, we don't have any alternate costumes in the base game. We do have them coming, though. That's the good thing. They did announce that they're going to be releasing costumes supposedly, through the DLC, or supposedly some free or whatever, just up until, the first quarter of 2020. So there's going to be costumes coming, as time goes by, more and more costumes. So I don't know how many we're going to get per character, but we're going to get different costumes. So, I mean, that's cool. So by the time the game is complete, I mean, we're going to have everything we need. But the first story coming to the first DLC pack is going to be called Curse of the Vampire. Already sounds awesome. I already can't wait to fucking play it. The 4 DLC characters we're getting in this pack makes me so much more excited as well, because another one of my favorite characters is going to be in this game. And we have Blade, we have Moon Knight, which I know a lot of people fucking love. We have Morbius, who is a vampire himself, some sort of vampire in the Marvel Universe. And then we have my boy, Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, joining the squad. So we have these 4 characters. We're technically going to get 6. You know what I'm saying? By the time these guys, come out, I think they're coming out in September sometimes too. So we get those 4 in September. Then we get, on the last day, one of the last days of September, we get Cyclops and we get Colossus. I mean, that's 6 characters right there. And then that also tells me this: if we're getting Cyclops and Colossus free, then who else is coming in the fucking X-Men DLC? Because that's 4 more slots, man. And I mean, we could. God knows who the fuck we're going to be getting now. Like, could you think of 4 more X-Men that we're going to be able to get? Like, that's going to be crazy. Like, who else can we? I mean, there's going to be so many. I mean, Storm is awesome too in this game. Let me say that Storm is fucking awesome in this game. Love her. Man, what other X-Men could we get? Could we get Phoenix? Could we get? I mean, God, man, I do not know. There's so many different X-Men members they could pull from, so many characters. That's going to be very interesting to see who they put in this game. But hopefully Iceman. I mean, we got to have Iceman. I mean, they got to put Iceman in here. So that kind of makes me feel better about Iceman, because he's another one of my favorite characters back from way back when Amazing Spider-Man and Friends and all of that shit back in the day, man. He was my boy. Yeah. So we will see, man, if Iceman is going to be in this game, and who else they're going to be adding to the list. Ought to be awesome. I can't wait. That's going to do it, guys, for the podcast, man. I mean, man, it's been a pretty long one. It's pretty long podcast. I want to thank everybody for listening. All the newcomers, again, thank you for taking time out of your day, night, whatever, your workout, your drive to work, drive home from work, whatever you're doing, to listen to this podcast, man. I hope you enjoyed it. All the guys and girls who've been here from fucking day one, I love you. Thank you for coming and lending me your ear again. You know what I mean? Where we talk about all this shit. And I'll be back next week as usual. And I'll have a lot more other shit to talk about. You know how we do it out here. But yeah, man, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or whatever, man, you always can reach me on social media. At Twitter, at Studio MacGyver. You can also hit me on Facebook at Studio MacGyver. You can hit me on Instagram at Studio MacGyver79. Check out the YouTube channel at Studio MacGyver TV. So many different ways to reach me, man. It's not hard. And you can follow me. You can check me out, whatever the fuck. And yeah, man, that's going to do it. I'm going to get my ass out of here, man, and probably jump back into some more Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I want to say one more time, I love you guys. Thank you for listening. This is Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.